Welcome at Capgemini Invent Talks. Join us today in looking into how Canon Production Printing embarked on a journey of change triggered by new strategic business goals for growth, but also it drove the people function into looking into a new HR strategy and also looking into a new service delivery model. Why is it actually essential to look into how to empower your employees for new people experiences? And how did Capgemini support Canon Production Printing in this journey? Most importantly, how do we become such a successful long-term partner for Canon Production Printing while doing this transformative change together?
Thank you very much, Serkena, and very welcome, Yves. Great to have you with us today. Can you elaborate a little bit more on the reasons for change for the organization? And on the other side also, what made you decide for Capgemini Invent to support you on the journey?
When we look to Canon Production Printing, we have to go a bit back in time. So between 2019 and 2020, Canon Production Printing went into a huge reorganization, which was also necessary because of the changing business environment we were in at that time. That reorganization was also essential in the preparations for our new growth plans, which we actually launched in 2020. The focus of these growth plans were that we wanted to grow our business in existing markets, but we also wanted to launch new products in new markets. Now, launching new products is actually at the core what Canon Production Printing actually is good at. But this time, it had to go together with a new principle of total optimization and profit first. Capgemini was asked to analyze the current state of the organization and to come up with a plan that was going to tackle all the things that had to change to give an answer to these three questions. And eventually it resulted in a plan, 3-year plan, that might change in the future to a bit longer, I would say. And that plan talked about changing HR technology, but also talking about the changes necessary to the HR organization, but also the change management that was so necessary. But the main reasons why we actually chose for Capgemini is because since the beginning, part of the conversation has always been your focus on the long-term relationship. And we knew from the beginning that our journey was going to be long. And I felt personally there was a good fit. So that is one thing. And then secondly, I would say we felt from the beginning that you guys did really an effort to get to know our organization. And you were also willing to adapt your ways and your out-of-the-box solutions and best practices to our company.
What are, for yourself, personally, the key highlights or successes of this journey so far?
Let's focus on the total optimization principle that we also applied in HR. And I have to say that we became a way more efficient organization. We were able to change our recruitment processes, onboarding processes, but also development people processes. That allowed us actually to spend so much more time on the whole employee journey, I would say. We were able, basically, because of the efficiency gain, to start to focus on the life of an employee in our organization. We were able to focus on moments that really matter to an employee and started to spend way more time on those. And in essence, that led to more engaged people.
We got to know you as a company with also quite a unique culture, like the company culture is quite unique. How do you think that also affected or contributed to these highlights?
Yeah, that's interesting that you say so, because indeed we have a very specific population. If you look to our people, you see that we have a very loyal employee base. It's sometimes also a challenge, because you have new people coming in and they need to feel part of this organization. And how do you do that, right? Now, I think the journey that we went through helped in a lot of ways to onboard new people in this specific organization quicker and faster than ever. And that has been especially done through an improved onboarding process that we actually launched together with a new employer brand campaign. And that has helped us to portray ourselves as a really attractive employer. And it has worked. Also, like I said, the goal was that people would feel at home quicker because we are more efficient and people are quicker effective in their new roles. We have more time to focus on engagement.
So we're on this journey now for 3 years almost. Can you explain why it has been successful so far?
When you go through these type of transformations that we are currently going through, they always come with setbacks. That's normal. And what I felt is really a true added value is that we can always count on the other expertises of your organization. So Peter, now obviously I also would like to know what you think were the key ingredients for our success story.
Sure. I think there's a few elements here. So first of all, it's been the ongoing top-down support that we had from the start and all the way through. Also when there was reasons to maybe slow down, the focus has been there continuously, not just from yourself, but also from others from the board around you. That's been a really essential difference. And the other thing is that whilst people had to get used to getting into an organization of change, it was very clear that they did like to get on that journey. And yes, it was challenging. Yes, it was very different from what they did before, but they were really ambitious in getting there.
I also think that the fact that both parties were very flexible, right? When they needed to be flexible, that has been part of the major success of the change story.
And we could have the conversations even when they were tough.
And I feel like the reason why we were able to manage this so fluently together in this partnership is because there is a clear trust-based relationship. So there is really room for open and vulnerable conversations about things aren't really going the way we wanted, or it's not really going as we have planned beforehand, but how do we solve this together? So it was really looking forward ahead, like how do we create a solution for something that we didn't encounter before or didn't foresee. So I think this really helped also build that trust-based relationship even further.
I often felt like people from Capgemini were actually our employees. And I think there are still a lot of people in our organization who actually think that you are working for Canon Production Printing instead of Capgemini. So that speaks to that trust-based relationship, of course. But on the other hand, it's also good that you are external, because in these type of transformations, you also have to tackle sometimes very sensitive subjects. And this is something that I felt was then possible. And I can only look forward to the rest of the journey together, because there's still a lot to do.
A lot ahead of us, yeah. I couldn't agree more. Thanks so much, Yves.
Yeah, thank you.
If you found it very interesting about this HR transformation at Canon Production Printing, or HR transformations in general, and you would like to know more about what we can do for your organization, feel free to reach out to Peter or myself for more information, or reach out to Yves if you'd like to know more about her story. Thank you for watching this Capgemini Invent Talks.